Is this what it feels like to be hungover? No, I have not drank more than one mouthful of wine or champagne at any one time in my life. So I don't know what it feels like to be high, to be tipsy, to be lit, to be drunk, to be hungover. But today, how I feel, I think that's what hungover feels like. I'm telling you guys, it was such an amazing day yesterday. So let's go back to the beginning. I was vlogging a lot more of those snippets every day, but they were getting a little bit long-winded, and I didn't want too much build up for you guys to get to what I was going to show. And I'm so glad that I was able to show anything at all, because I wanted to be so respectful and mindful of the fact that I'm amongst a lot of celebrities, and I don't want to just be up in their face with a camera. There was a guy at the party that was streaming live from his phone and up in everybody's face and whatever, but he might have been like a relative of Sherri's, you know. I said, Sherri, is it okay for me to record a few snippets just to put on my show? I'm going to be very mindful not to catch the people as they're biting down into their ribs and stuff, and not get right up in their faces, more from a pullback distance. I won't show your address. Sherri's like, I know how you know how to do it, Barbara, and I know you'll do it classy. Yes, you can go ahead. So I just a few snippets that I got was enough for you guys to know that the party was really, really exciting. So let's go back to when everything started. So I got that text at midnight on Wednesday night. And at first I thought maybe Sherri meant to send it to somebody else in her phone, because y'all know I don't know Sherri like that. I mean, I talked to her through Periscope. I bugged her for 3 months. She came. She was like amazing, giving, and just really a down-to-earth person. And then since then, I maybe texted her on her birthday last year, April 21st, because Jeffrey and Sherri they have the same birthday. And Jeffrey's her son, of course. And then I think I texted her the night my mom died, and maybe for Christmas. I mean, I try not to abuse the fact that I have her phone number. So then when she texted me in April saying, come to my plate and I'm producing, that opened the door of opportunity for me to just go and be a support to her. And even though I was broke, I didn't ask for anything. I didn't ask for the tickets to get in, for gas money, for nothing. Because I just feel like Sherri's the type of person where everybody uses her for that, you know? So when I got that text, at first I was like, oh my God, did she send it to the wrong B in her name? Not meaning bit, meaning the wrong person with the name B. And so I went to Jada and I said, did you get a text from Sherri? Because sometimes Sherri will send out email blasts, well, not email, text blasts from her phone to different people in her phone, so that they'll know where she's going to be next, if it's QVC or whatever. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's one of those things. And then Jada's like, no, Mom, that came to you and only you. So I answered back immediately at midnight. I'm like, we would be honored to be there. And of course, Josh was like, we're going. I'm like, she didn't say you guys were grown. So, I mean, if I had underage kids and they invited me, maybe you can assume that you can take your kids. But at that point, I would have asked. So then Sherri texted back. Maria's texting, wanting to know how the day went. So Sherri texted back and said, please bring the boys and Jada. I was like, yes, party. So at that point, she told me that it's a secret. And I assumed, it wasn't a surprise thing, but I assumed she didn't want it out there on social media, because what if she didn't invite certain people and then she had to invite them because the party was going to get too big, or I don't know. So if they say secret, I had to keep it secret. So I was just like so excited. And Julie, let me see if you can see the skirt. You guys can see the skirt. You guys can see this. Julie gave me money to buy this skirt. We had wardrobe changes. And let me tell you something about that type of party. When you go to that type of party and you see somebody walking in one thing and then 2 hours later they're in something else, that's called a wardrobe change, according to what Jada has told me. And you want to acknowledge that. When you see the people come out like that, you want to go, oh my God, you changed. How gorgeous. And Jada was on cue. Let me tell you, the 4 of us, we were the right 4 that went. The only other person I would have wanted to go would have been Lewis, because Lewis would have fit in so well, and Lewis knows how to work a room. I really wanted Jory to go, but he had a date already for fireworks. and he didn't want to like take his car, stay there 3 hours, and then come back by himself to go to this fireworks date. So I understand that. I didn't want to force him, because what if he came back and was hit by a drunk driver? Then I would have been guilty the rest of my life, right? So I was like, okay, leave it alone. If you don't want to go, I don't want to force them to go where they don't want to go, because when they get there, I want them to be happy and I want them to be able to meet people. You know what I mean? But there was a friend of Sherri's that was there that I know from the play. And she's all like, girl, I'm going to tell you to tell him next time he better come. He better come. When Sherri invites you, come. Because when Sherri has these functions, it's all like the coolest people in the industry. It's like a networking opportunity, without it being planned as a networking opportunity. My eyes must look tired, guys, because they feel so sunken in and swollen right now. And I didn't even stay up late. I didn't overeat. First of all, let's go back to the food. I made one plate of food. One plate meaning one piece of meat, one little bit of carb, and what else did I have on that plate? Some type of garden salad. And that's all I had, on a piece of my chocolate cake. I really didn't overeat, but I drank a lot. You guys know how I get when I drink a lot. At some point, I don't know why my kidneys don't flush whatever I'm drinking, and then it starts to retain, and then I start feeling, kind of like this. So now everything's, flowing again. So Joshua ate. He ate way too much, because there was enough food there to eat way too much. I mean, there were waves and waves and waves of food coming in. At any one time, there were at least 100 people at that party, and then some would leave, and then you'd see a new wave coming, and then some would come back because they went to another party. And Sherri's house was so welcoming. I think she's renting the place because she's not going to be there too long. It was so welcoming. She said, if I were staying here longer, I'd let you come use this kitchen because it's such a gorgeous kitchen. But she says, let's see where I'm going to next, and then we'll see what that kitchen looks like. When you walked in, nobody gave you the side eye, kind of like, what you doing in here? Go outside. The party's outside. Kind of, because Belizean people are like that. Some Belizean people, you'll go to their parties. Not my party. When you come here, you have the run. But you go to their parties and you step inside to use the bathroom, and everybody turns around and look at you like, what the hell are you doing in here? The party's outside. That kind of way. Nobody did that to you. I didn't take a picture with Kim Whitley. And it's because after I spoke with her, I just got a vibe that maybe she wasn't feeling her best. And so I don't want to impose on people like that. I went up to her. Jada went up to her and spoke to her first, and she was nice to Jada, because she has that little boy that she's raising, Joshua, and he latched on to Jada the minute Jada got there. He would not let Jada go. And when his dad came to pick him up, he was just like, he ran back through the house, ran to Jada and go, I have to give you a hug. We later on found out he's 5. We later on found out it's because he likes boobs, so he wanted to get Jada a hug. But anyways, I told her, I said, your son has a girlfriend, and she's a grown woman. And I pointed to Jada. I go, you spoke with her already. That's my daughter. And I told her that, she looked beautiful. The usual stuff that you say to people at a party. And she was just like, oh my God, tell your daughter to take a picture with Joshua for me, please. With her, Joshua. Because I want that picture. Send it to my phone, blah, blah, blah. So she was very personable. But there was just something about, how she was moving around the crowd that made me feel like she wasn't maybe at her 100% best. And I didn't want to impose. I didn't want to go back, because I didn't see people flocking, say, can I get a picture? It was more people that knew her, like the comedians and so on that were taking pictures. The other people, girl, please. They were so down to earth. It was almost familial. Is that the right word? Familial. Yeah, like family. That's what I'm meaning to say. My dad's calling. I'll be right back. I had to take that call from my dad, and I'm sorry I did, because they're upsetting my day. My sister's in Belize. They're not really on speaking terms. My sister is doing some legalities with my mom's will and stuff down there, and my dad's screaming on one end in my ear, and I was like, oh God, I want to hear none of this. Jesus, no. I just had a blessed day yesterday. But I invited Joe over because I wanted Joe to tell you guys who was the best person he met. Joe. Who was the nicest person you met that you love? Lunel. Mm-hmm. The comedian, Lunel? What do you think about Lunel?
Oh, she's an awesome person. She's a wonderful person. I like her.
That's not what you said just now.
Oh, she's my girl, She's my girl.
He dropped me. I
like her sense of humor, She always making you laugh.
Lunel and Joe was scavenging for coffee. It's so cool. I'm so glad to see that Joe got along well with somebody. I loved meeting Kevin Daniels, the bald head, tall, beautiful black guy that was in Sirens. Sirens was on Netflix, for those of you who have Netflix. And he was on Modern Family, and he was on the show that Sherri's on, Trial and Error. I love meeting him. He just loved the fact that he had fans there because Joshua and Jada fawned all over him. He kissed Jada on her forehead. Jada doesn't want to wash her forehead today. It was so nice. The one for me, Joe, what about Wendell or Wendell? I don't know his real name. Wendell? The one that was on Kim Whitley's show.
Oh, he's
the
nice.
little skinny guy.
He's nice too.
Oh my God, he was such a darling. I said, Wendell, would you mind taking a picture with me when you get a chance? I said, the sun sets at 8:05. I kept telling everybody that the sun sets at 8:05, so I want it before the sun sets. And so he's like, let's do it now, baby. It was really, really nice. And then the other one, Cleo, I don't know her last name, the one that was the grandma, Carl's grandma from Mike and Molly. She dresses older on the show, so you thought she was really a grandma, but she's like, my age or maybe even younger. She was like a darling. We sat there and we talked such intimate things, like if we knew each other forever and ever and ever. We just talked about marriages and, how come I got married so young and what made the marriage this strong, and just really cool, right, Joe? And even though people were networking, because I was networking, they were not being shady about it. No, let me tell you the story. So Sherri has a cousin named Chris. Chris says he's half Belizean because his dad was Belizean. The dad has since passed. No, there's another guy named, you leaving me? Mm-hmm. He was just like propped up right under my butt where I didn't have to fall down in his chair. The other guy, Marcus, is either Chris's brother or Chris's cousin. I don't know the connection because Marcus came later. Chris was there when we got there, and he was cooking hot dogs and stuff, and we were helping. And he befriended Joshua and Jada right away, and he was just like, they were in, just with Chris all day. And when Marcus came, Marcus introduced himself, and I shook his hand. And later I saw him pop up again, and I said, you're Marcus, right? And then he shook my hand again. I said, we already met. I'm just trying to put the names with the faces. And he was just like, yeah. So it's just like really calm, sweet, laid back person. Well, that's the person. That's the person that I needed to meet, you guys. And Sherri was like, because at the end of the day, Sherri had another friend there named Sandy. She's also a stand-up comic. And she does acting too. She was in something for Tyler Perry, like Meet the Browns or something, small role, whatever. And she was just like trying to give me ideas of how to reach different people in the industry to get on one of these shows to be a contributor. She was offering a lot of information. So when the night ended, I told Sherri, that Sandy was really cool offering me information. And then Sherri says, what do you need, babe? And I'm like, I just need a door to open where I can go to a morning show and take food and contribute. That's what they call it, being a contributor. And she goes, did you meet my cousin Marcus? Because that's the right person for you to talk to. He blah, 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 producer, yada, yada. I was like, yeah, I met him like 3 different times out there. I didn't know that's who that was. And then she's all like, yeah. And then she goes, I'm going to go back. I'm not going to beg him for favors because I already done asked him for a lot of favors when Cruncho was running. But I'm just going to go, what does Barbie need to do to get her, foot in the door somewhere? Even if it's not where he is. I'm like, cool, do it that way. I don't want you to like push the issue and burn down any bridges, And so she's like, yeah, I'll do that for you, no problem. 3 o'clock in the morning, Sherri was texting me pictures and stuff from her phone, okay? And so Marcus came and followed me at Instagram. I followed him. We followed Chris. I have Chris' personal phone number. And I don't know where any of this is going to lead, guys. I don't want to get carried away, and I don't want to use anybody. But definitely, I think another layer of doors was open yesterday. The whole time that I was there, even though I was meeting all these amazing people that were humble and kind and sweet and loving and funny and stuff, I kept going off to the side for a minute, go, God, who am I supposed to speak with next? Give me the right words, give me the right connections. What am I supposed to do next? I want this for my career. I put all of this in your capable hands because I know you're capable of doing it. And I don't want to just like go to that flashy thing because that's a star, to take a picture, to just have a picture, and then to find out that that person can't do anything to help me. Show me if it's the maid, if it's the groundskeeper. There was no groundskeeper. Who do I need to speak with? And not to come off as I'm just peddling something either. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be classy. And when we left there, Joshua says, Mommy, we did all that we could with what we had to work with. And it's all up in God's hands now, you know? The next time I get invited to her house is probably going to be in August, she already said. And I'm definitely going to work it where we can take Louis, because Louis is a part of this family to where he knows how to take care of people. He would have been there serving. We were there serving. You know, you didn't have to serve. But if Jada grabbed this old lady, this one lady that was falling. She was falling off of the little platform by Sherri's back door, and Jada grabbed her just in time. Old lady, like in her late 80s. So we were there doing stuff like that. Let me get that plate for you. You know, you're sitting and you're looking pretty already. I'm already up. I don't mind taking that plate for you. And then Jada was like, when people were leaving and Sherri says everybody can make plates, Jada was like, you want me to make you a plate? Want me to make you? And Jada was making plates and just making yourself useful to these people where they felt so special because they were not stuck up. You guys, these comedians were not stuck up. They were giving, kind, they were funny. And they were just like normal human beings. And I can't believe that we were put in that atmosphere. I keep pinching myself, you know, because I'm like, God, you had me pursue Sherri Shepherd way back in January of 2016. She came, I, you know, kept up at a safe distance where she doesn't feel like I'm using her, because it's the last thing I want to do with anybody in my life ever, no matter who, from the smallest person to the biggest person. I never want to use. And then finally, you know, like I was talking to Katie the other day, and she reminded me that I was the one that says that access is at first a gift, then it's a continuous test, and then it's a reward. So now the gift, Sherri gave it me freely, the gift of access, when she came here the first time. After that, I've been going through a series of testing. She didn't even know she was testing me, but she's making sure that I'm, you know, safe to be around her son and around her, you know, people that she knows, and you know, all that good stuff. And then now it's a reward. She's rewarded me by inviting me into her inner circle. And that's so amazing. We came to drop off something at UPS for one of our old customers from the bottle printing business. We had his artwork still. We only kept the artwork for a few people that we really cared about. So he sent a UPS sticker. The thing's moving. And we sent him his artwork. So I am still really so tired. In my eyes. Not in my body, but in my eyes. It's 3:25 right now in the afternoon, and I'm heading back to the gym for the first time in quite a few days. Joe has not been away as long as I've been away, so I think he's gonna be okay, but I think I might be in some pain later. I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna overexert this, because this is still healing nicely, but I can do other things, and I can do cardio, and I really do feel like it'll make me feel a little bit better. My eyes don't hurt as badly as they did this morning. They're getting a little bit better. Joe is outside watering his dry grass. Jada's coming back from some place named Menifee with Colin. Joe is sitting over there on the couch. You might be able to see him, a piece of him, little blue shirt. And what am I getting ready to do? I might go on the computer and watch the service at the church, the Bible study, because one of the elders in the church that contacts us every now and then texted tonight, and this evening, and he was like, are you guys planning to go to Bible study? Well, my response was like, why do you ask? And Joe thought that was rude. I'm like, well, I didn't mean to be rude. I just wondered, you know, if he asked because it was going to be a special speaker, or maybe he was going to be the speaker, or what's going on. And so I texted him back, and he called and said, no, the men's choir was going to be singing, and he's a part of it. And I said, oh, okay, well, we hadn't planned on going. And even if we wanted to go, we couldn't, because somebody had just contacted us telling us they were going to come buy the car, the Town and Country. Of course, 2 seconds later, they text back and go, I have an emergency, I can't go now. So I don't know if that's a true emergency, or if they saw another car that they'd rather go take a look at. But I'm not going to stress over it, because if they see another car that they think looks better, if they're meant to come by this one, then that car won't work out. If there was a true emergency, then that emergency will be resolved and they'll come tomorrow. That's how I choose to live my life today, in oblivion, y'all. Sometimes denial is a good place to live. So 8 of you came on when I was streaming live. I love the streaming live at the vlog so much. I hate doing it at the cooking channel. You get random creeps that just want to come there and tell you crazy crap. But at the vlog, it's just you all, my family. Joe's wetting up my little rose bushes over here, y'all. Yeah, so it's 7:10 right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys, as always, for asking. asking, watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thumbs it up because all of that works in Social Blue Book. Oh, by the way, speaking of Social Blue Book, the thing, what's the thing called again? The something logic, Grapevine Logic. Remember I submitted for the tea and for the mattress? Well, the tea came back saying that I wasn't the right fit for them. And I guess because my channel doesn't have like all organic stuff. I have nothing organic. And the mattress never did respond. I figured I wouldn't get the mattress because it doesn't really go with the cooking channel, and I think they look at that. But the mattress is expensive. It's $1,000. So with the reach that I have of only 34,000, it might not have worked out for them. So that's cool. I understand business decisions. So I submitted for another one, which is supposed to be some type of superfoods. I'm telling you, it's very restricted for me to submit from the cooking channel because a lot of things don't go with the cooking channel. But if it were the review channel, I could submit out to Yin Yang, but I can't because I only have 5,000 subscribers. So I'm in a catch-22. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night, okay? Thanks for watching. I love y'all. Bye.
When the red button is on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys, see, I'm doing it.
This is very, very
Ready. He doesn't want to go back on the boat. Splash.
Splash?
Yeah.